Got team news up.
Hi guys, it's Alex here outside the King Power Stadium in Leicester. I'm joined by Stephen. This is the live stream. The team news is out. Leicester out of form. Vardy hasn't hit a shot on target in 6 games. Everything is gearing towards a Manchester City win. Get yourselves ready for a 1-1 draw. The team news is out. It is a little bit surprising. Guardiola has gone back to 4 at the back.
Yep.
That is Claudio Bravo starts in goal. Pablo Zabaleta, who is captain, is at right back. Bakary Sagna and John Stones make a makeshift back 2, and Alexander Kolarov makes himself the left back for the game. Makes himself. Gael Clichy is sat on the bench. Fernando and Gundogan are the 2 holding midfielders coming back. Jesus Navas on the right. Kevin De Bruyne in his preferred number 10 role, and David Silva is out on the left-hand side. Kelechi Iheanacho is given the nod as the lone striker. Nolito sits on the bench. I'm going to go through the bench for you as well. Willy Caballero is on the bench. Raheem Sterling, Nolito, Leroy Sané, Gael Clichy, Yaya Toure, and Toshin Adarabioyo on the bench as well. Toshin, who was superb against Celtic, gets the nod. Yaya Toure, who I think a lot of people expected to start, didn't play against Celtic, didn't play against Chelsea. He's on the bench today after an impressive performance against Palace, impressive performance away at Burnley. I thought he would have got the nod today, Stephen.
I personally didn't think he would, just because we rested so many players in midweek, and the ones that who have been ahead of him recently were all rested, like the Gundogan, the Silvas, the Bruynes. But I definitely see a call for him being involved. But I can see why they're going to try and control the midfield, because it isn't Leicester's strongest point this season, the midfield. And having all the technical players like Silva, De Bruyne, Gundogan, all that lot. And Fernando being a bit of a rock, I like the idea of him being there as well. I think it's a very, very wise move. I thought he was excellent against Burnley, Fernando. And I think the team is quite solid, relatively speaking, compared to what our usual level of solidity, so to speak. It isn't a great defence. It's still a little bit, sketchy. But I'm hoping that for the back, and maybe someone like a Fernando there in front of the midfield can just give us a solid foundation to kind of then get at them going forward, because we haven't got options going forward.
For those of you watching at home, let us know where you're watching the game. Get involved in the comments. We're going to be going through your questions, your thoughts on the team. Yep. Has Guardiola got it right? Has Guardiola got it wrong? 4 at the back, Stephen. He's dropped to 3. Was that the right decision for today's game against Leicester?
Yeah, I think definitely. For one, we haven't got the centre backs there anyway to actually do it at the moment, and I think it's just the right situation at the moment to do that. I think we need to be solid away. I know they are struggling, but they are still the champions. I know, and given the fact they've got Vardy's got obviously lightning quick pace, and they've got is Mahrez playing? I didn't look at the Leicester team.
I've not seen the Leicester team myself.
Given the fact they've got Vardy and so on, the pace in there, and a bit of skill, just a nice foundation would be good. I mean, I'm just happy Kelechi's playing personally. I think we needed to. I heard some rumours that maybe he would go for like all the midfielders kind of thing and play like a 4-6-0 or something like that. But I'm glad that Kelechi's there, because I think he's the one player more than anyone likely to finish a 1-1 at the moment, and we have been lacking that kind of clinicism. That's one thing we do lack.
Look at the Leicester team. It's Mahrez and Albrighton on the wings, Slimani and Vardy up top. It looks like they're going to use the pace of Vardy and Albrighton, use Mahrez's creativity and Slimani to disrupt the play and be big and get himself involved, basically. I think, you know what? It's been I've been here since 1 o'clock and it's been raining all day.
Hardcore,
I think they're going to bank on the fact that it's wet, it's rainy, that Leicester, the fans here are unbelievable on home games. They're going to try and make it an intimidating atmosphere.
Yeah.
I think they're going to try and make it uncomfortable and hard work for us. And you know what? I think this is exactly the sort of game that Vardy will enjoy despite his poor form.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, I think so.
No, it's good. You carry on and look at the comments here. Now, Vardy, I don't fear anymore. I think Vardy, famous last words and all that, but I think Vardy's kind of, he had a freak season that was just, he was never going to be able to replicate again this season. He would like playing against our defence, because obviously he does famously like pace and whatever. But the kind of like that kind of edge of his game has disappeared a bit this season, and I think with a little bit of kind of nuance, a little bit of intelligence, we should be able to really channel him where we want him to go. We should be able to guide him into the right roles, the right positions, and we should be in control. I've got some comments here. Daryl's watching in a bar in Valencia.
Nice.
It's decidedly better weather than we've got here. I'm getting massive drops of rain on me.
I don't know what the weather is in Valencia, but it is definitely better than here. Daryl is definitely 1-0 up, Daryl.
Watching while doing my uni physics lab report, good lad. Blues from around the world everywhere. Someone, Savage there, says it's going to be 3-0 City. I presume it isn't Robbie Savage, because he would be saying that. 4-0 City's to Nath Gaming as well. Where is Leicester? That is a very pertinent question. Leicester's everywhere. Leicester's
Junction 21 of the M1. That's where we are, halfway to the country.
Any more comments coming in? We need a win so bad, we do indeed. In general, our away form is excellent. I think we've got the best away record in the league.
Besides Spurs, we've won away
every single game away. So in general, I'm very happy with our away form. It's weird now because we should feel comfortable going to Leicester given the form. It's obviously the Champions factor and the fact that it is a big game for them. Maybe they want to prove it. And last year we struggled a lot against Leicester. We were pretty dire, in fact. One of our worst games of the season when they came to the Etihad and done us in. But I'm hoping this season is a different thing entirely. We should be a little bit more set up. I'm sure Pep's been studying the tapes there and realising what we have to do.
Let's run through the team just if anyone's just joined us this second. So Claudio Bravo starts in goal. Zabaleta is captain at right back. Sanya and John Stones are at centre back, and Kolarov completes a back four today. Fernando and Gundogan are in the sort of the defensive midfield roles. Fernando probably dropping in, Gundogan roaming forwards, and the attacking three: Navas on the right, Silva on the left, De Bruyne down the middle, and Kelechi Iheanacho up top. Now let's have a little look at the way we've played. Kelechi Iheanacho, he was in amongst it, got his goal I think 8 minutes in against Celtic, looked pretty a bright light throughout. Leicester got beaten 5-0 away in Portugal. I know it was a second string and they were already through and all the rest of it, but surely for the morale, you think, there's lads who spend 3 days on a plane getting out, you play and you get battered. It's not the mentality you want in the dressing room, is it?
No, it's never nice to get battered 5-0. It simply isn't. That's it. And it doesn't help with the fact that there is a lot of bit of kind of concern in general around the Leicester camp. There's even some calls, which I find crazy, for Ranieri's head from some fans. I think a lot of... I think it's kind of a very tough season for Leicester because they have to kind of realise that last season was just an anomaly. It was a weird season. They were brilliant last year, but there was always going to be a harsh bump back down to reality at some point because simply they don't have the resources anymore. They just don't have the resources to stay up there at the moment. That's a shame, in my opinion. It's a shame genuinely because they deserve to be up there, but this was going to happen at some point. I think it was obvious it was going to happen, and I think they're struggling to adapt to that reality, and there's probably a little bit of tension from the fans. In general, the club feels a little bit like it's the whole, after the Lord Mayor show and that kind of stuff, and it's just a bit much.
There's a few people on social media saying that Leicester might go down this season.
I wanted to put a 10 on before the start of the season, but I didn't do it, annoyingly.
Do you think then they're going to have the same attitude that, say, Burnley have, that, say, Palace, those sort of teams, the Swanseas, the Sunderlands, that might be, we went to Swansea and they put 10 men behind the ball. Do you think we're going to see that here today?
I think they'll try and make a point today, definitely. I don't think they'll put 10 men behind the ball, but I think they'll try and make a point. I think they'll be really up for it because obviously, as you said, they've just got a tonking. Usually a wounded animal is the one you don't want to face, and they've just obviously had a very bad situation. What would kickstart their season better than a win against Pep Guardiola's team in front of the home fans? That would get them going again. So this is a big game for them, a really big game. It's obviously a big game for City as well. But I think they need this win a lot. And that's what does make me worry a little bit because I wouldn't want to be playing Leicester now personally, especially when it's pissing down.
I don't think there's any danger of you getting a game. Don't worry, Stephen. I think you'll be fine.
I can stand in it right back.
I'm going to wrap up with this. Toshin Adebayo, you're a big, advocate of youth football. Bakary Sagna is the makeshift right back today. He's on the bench. He is probably the second choice now for centre back. And do you think there's a chance that over the next few weeks you might see him get some football? Yeah,
definitely. Because obviously Otamendi's got himself suspended and so Company's still injured. I probably agree in general, not starting him today. I think this probably is a bit too much of a stretch still. I would like to see him potentially even come on maybe. Because he hasn't. He needs Premier League experience. And if we're comfortable at some point, I would like to see Adebayo get on just to feel his way into it. Because you have to be cautious with these players because you see how fickle football is and how fickle social media is. Before you know it, Adebayo does well. Plays 4 or 5 games, everyone likes him. Then he makes a mistake last minute, and then a 1-1 draw goes to a 2-1 defeat, and people saying he's not ready for Premier League football because people can be with that reaction. They can jump down his throat, and all of a sudden his confidence drops. He disappears, and we never see him again. I don't want that to happen for him, so I do understand why Pep's trying to ease him in slowly. But I would like to see him get on at least today. That'd be nice.
All right, so I make it. It's about half an hour to kick off. That is just enough time for you and me to sing a pint. So we're going to wrap this up. I'm going to say 3-2. I think I'm hoping in City's favour. I think this game has got goals in it. I think our back four looks a little bit shaky. I think Jamie Vardy's hoping to do a goal, but I'm going to back City 3-2. What are you going for?
3-2. I'm going for that as well, actually.
3-2. I like it. Let us know what you make of it in the comments. Get involved down there. If you're enjoying the video, make sure you throw it a like. It is tipping it down. We do it so you don't have to. And after the game, we are going to be here in the fan cams, getting the reaction for the people who matter most, the supporters. If you're enjoying the video, if you're backing a Manchester City win, hit the like button. And if you're new to Blue Moon Rising TV, hit subscribe. We'll see you again, Blues.